Hey guys, what is up? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7 Around 7. And in fact, this morning, we're doing 7 a.m. Mountain Time Zone. I got a super busy day here. Got to get a little workout on the mountain bike this morning before I head to Denver Airport to pick up one of the girls, one of the kids, Miss Mo. Looking forward to seeing her. So we're going an hour early. I guess you'd call it 7 Around 7. It's official. Mountain Time Zone, a little bit different than the Pacific. That's okay. Guys, what we're going to look at today is a video from a point that I played years ago at the Brooklyn Tennis Club. But I want to give you kind of some thinking about determining when you're playing serve and volley in doubles about whether that returner's partner is actually poaching or maybe just faking or staying or whatever. And we'll get into that in just a second here. Before we do, down below in the description area, 98.6, there's a link that will take you there. Dave Doherty's high performance tennis clothing. Dave, a national 65 level player, and has created and produced some really good shorts, shirts, hats, different material. But he's calling it high performance tennis clothing. And very reasonably priced. In fact, Dave's also offering us a 15% discount off your initial order. That link is down below along with the discount code. So check that out after we are done today with this video about poaching. All right, let us get into it. I'm going to do this first, though, so that you get a bigger view of the video. This is actually a second serve. So have just missed my first serve, right? And thrown in the second serve and playing serve and volley on the second, coming in. And so look, I've got a guy up at net, the great George Mays, who is active, right? So first of all, I know he's active, right? And even if this was an early part of the match, which it's not, this is kind of a latter part of the match. I just know George well enough as a doubles player that he loves to either poach or to fake, right? And so the choice here for me is he faking, maybe throwing just one step, a little lean over there, or is he actually going? And the bottom line is that we never know 100% for sure if he's poaching, if an opponent's poaching, unless they go ridiculously early, right? And sometimes when the ball's like right about here, you see a guy start to move and you just know, right? But I'm not talking about that sort of 2% of the time. I'm talking about the other 98% of the time, where at some point you're not 100% sure whether or not that active poacher, right? Active meaning he's not going 100% of the time, but he's going often enough that at some point right here, I have to guess. I have to guess whether he's going. And fortunately for me, on this particular one, George does not move forward on the return, right? He stays on the service line. And so for me, what that does is that helps me think, well, if he doesn't move, then I can hedge my bet by, well, let's take it this way. I'm assuming I just feel like he's going to move on this one, right? So I'm going to go kind of where he is with my volley. I'm not going to have to risk going for anything tight on the double sideline here, because I don't need to risk it. If he moves and he leaves me all this wide open, right? But even if he doesn't move, because he's staying back in that service line, if I don't play my volley with a ton of power or a lot of depth, but play it just kind of low and slow, at least if he stays there, I know I'm not popping the ball up to him, right? Hope that makes sense. So in this case, I just guess. And again, it's a guess, guys. Let's be realistic. You cannot, I mean, you might be asking, well, what's the formula? What's the fail-safe formula, Brent, or any other coach that I can never miss, right? I can always know whether he's faking or staying or actually poaching. And the answer to that question is There's no guarantee. There's no way that you can ever know 100% what he's going to do. You have to guess sometimes. And again, the guessing game is based on a player who's active. If George never ever moves, then obviously there's your answer. If your opponent never moves, then you're going to go back cross court with a volley. In this one, I just assume he's moving. I play it kind of low and just go there, because if he doesn't move on this, I'm in good court position where, number one, I haven't popped the ball up to him, but number two, I'm in good enough court position that if he plays it back to me, I can go ahead and make a play on it. So let's go ahead and back this up. We'll play this in real time. I know with StreamYard, not the smoothest video play. But again, I'm telling you guys, it's a guessing game sometimes. And you got to kind of calculate what's your, let me get out of this, go back to us here. And yeah, I mean, you just got to guess sometimes. And that's okay. You guess right, you guess wrong. And if you guess wrong, meaning let's not make it 100% wrong by the fact that the guy, let's say he moves and I still go cross court. Well, I know with an active poacher up there that I'm going to keep it low, right? I'm not going to give him anything to work with, especially with a net player that's starting from that service line. So, if that's you, my recommendation would be, if you know that your partner's return serve is going back cross court, going back to that serve and volley server, then move in, right? Because as we can see on that volley, that was not a high volley. That was a ball down low. So you want to move forward, even if you don't even poach. You want to move forward and start cutting off the angles, whether the angles are going back cross court, going back to you, or going back behind you, right? So, I get this question all the time. What's the formula? There is not a 100% lockdown, fail-safe, no-brainer formula for someone who likes to move at net. And that's why I encourage you guys, get into the habit of, even if you move just once in a while, where you poach once in a while off a low return from your partner, is a couple of things. Is number one, make sure you move forward off that service line. Number two, make sure you throw in a lot of fake poaches. You want to dirty up the landscape for that approach, whether it's a volley. In this case, it was a volley. Well, it's a half volley, or maybe it's it's a shorter return that sits up, and that certain volleyer puts on the brakes and plays more of an approach shot. Whatever it is, your job is to try to dirty up the visual landscape of that transitional shot of the server. And one of the ways you do it is you throw a lot of fake poaches in there. And if you're moving forward and faking and cutting down the angles, good things are going to happen. Even if they play it back to your returning partner, it's not going to be a big time stick volley, right? So we're getting a little off topic here. But again, as a serve and volley guy, there's no hard answer that works every time in terms of determining if they're faking or if they're going to poach. And sometimes it's guessing game, right? And you hedge your bets with your volley. And so anyway, that's it. Guys, would love to get your feedback on today's topic down below in the comments area. Let me know what's on your mind. Could be this topic, could be anything else that you're working on with your game. Let me know. Excuse me. You can also shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com, if you prefer that method of communication. And yes, a reminder, down below in the description area, there's a link to 98.6 men's high performance tennis clothing. Go on over there, check it out. You're getting a 15% discount off your initial order. Men's shorts, a shirt, pick up a couple shirts, a hat, and give it a go. And be sure that you put in the discount code, which is Brent01, capital B, lowercase RENT01, and you'll be all set. Guys, that's it for me today. I'm out on the mountain bike for about 45 minutes. A few core exercises after, with a little bit stretching, and then heading out on US 40. Steamboat's bringing us to the Denver International Airport. Pick up the kid. Early afternoon. Looking forward to that. Guys, it is time for all of us. We got to get out there today. We got to help someone else have a spectacular day. Guys, I will see you again tomorrow.